Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021, and it's week 5 of the legislative process. Welcome to our weekly update and our Tuesdays at the Capitol. I wanted to give you guys a brief update on what's happening at the Minnesota State Capitol and talk a little bit about what we did this Tuesday at the Capitol with our Zoom at the Capitol meeting with the Minnesota Consortium for Citizens with Disabilities. First off, last week we saw on Tuesday, after our normal Tuesday at the Capitol, the release of the governor's proposed next 2-year budget. And so most of the last couple of weeks have been with the committee hearings on various elements of the budget based on the jurisdiction of the committee. So the Healthcare Committee took a look at some of the healthcare issues in the governor's proposal. The Human Services Committee took a look at some of the human service items in his budget. Transportation, education, all the committees really spent the last week taking a look at the various elements in that proposal. Now, the next step in the budget making process will be for the House and the Senate to release their proposals. Remember from your civics lessons that the legislature or the governor proposes and the legislature disposes. So we're at the stage where the governor has proposed a budget. And that's just what it is. It's a proposal. And so I won't dive into the weeds, but there are hundreds of pages if you care to take a peek or a look at the governor's budget. You can do that on the Minnesota Management and Budget webpage. Click on the operating budget, and in that you can click on the governor's proposed budget and take a look at any number of documents broken up by budget jurisdiction and take a look at what they're proposing. The long and the short of it essentially is that the governor has proposed a budget that includes some tax increases on wealthy Minnesotans, cigarette tax increase, and a number of other items that the Republicans who control the Senate have said that they will not support. So essentially the last week has been, sort of the Democrats who control the governor and who control the governor's office and the Minnesota House of Representatives arguing with the Republicans who control the Minnesota Senate about what that budget might look like. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can certainly take a look at the MMB website or take a look at any of the media and news stories that have gathered around that. What we will be doing next on the budget is watching closely for the economic forecast, the budget forecast, and that is coming out. It's called the February forecast. It usually comes out late in February or early in March, and that will be the official quote-unquote numbers that the state must use when it plans its budget, its next 2-year budget, because the state constitution does require that the Minnesota budget be balanced, and they will have to use that number. And so we anticipate some deficit, a budget deficit. We're not sure if it's going to be as large as it was in the last budget forecast. We're anticipating that it will be improved, but we'll still see some cause for concern in terms of how the economy is doing and how much money is in the coffers. So I won't go, like I say, I won't go too much into detail on that, but please keep an eye out for that and please keep watching for that. On the other sort of issues front, we made the focus of this week's Tuesdays at the Capitol in partnership with the Minnesota Consortium for Citizens with Disabilities. Once a month, we partner with MNCCD and do our Zoom Tuesdays at the Capitol together. So this was the first one this year, besides the kickoff in January. And the focus of our conversation, the focus of our event was on Cassie's Law. And so Tim Berry, Cassie's father, shared his story. We had a good turnout. We had a number of people show up. And if you're interested in trying to figure out how you can support this effort, I have some ideas here that I'll share with you in just a minute, and then I'll wrap up this presentation for this week. What Tim has experienced with his daughter is really a gut-wrenching story of stroke, of chemical dependency, of mental illness, and she has become caught up in the criminal justice system and has not been able to get out of it. And so we're working on a bill that would require court systems for anybody who has a history of brain injury, stroke, or fetal alcohol syndrome, and that has been charged or convicted, of a felony level or higher, to for the judge to order a neuropsychological evaluation. Sorry about that. My dog is dreaming. To order a neuropsychological evaluation that can be used in the pre-sentence investigation to ensure that the court understands the implications, the mental and cognitive implications of that stroke, brain injury, or other brain injury, and takes that into consideration when trying to determine the appropriate cause of action. Again, I won't go into great detail on this, but we do have fact sheets on it. We do have more information on it, and we can share that with you. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's making sure that information is readily available to judges who are sentencing folks that have been convicted of a crime, and that if there is a history of brain injury or stroke, that is taken a look at so that the most appropriate settings can be taken into consideration for determining how best to address that situation. That bill has been introduced. Well, it's about to be introduced, and we should have a bill number later this week, and I'll share that with you next week. What we're asking folks to do that are interested in supporting Tim and in supporting Cassie's Law is to set up an appointment with your senator and your representative. And then I will be happy to come to that appointment if you would like, or provide the information that you need so that you can have a successful appointment. And so what we're asking you to do is to contact your state senator and to contact your state representative. If you need any help doing this, please give me a call or an email, Jeffn, Jeffn, at braininjurymn.org, and I can help you do this. Essentially what you want to do is send them a message either through email or the Minnesota Senate contact system that basically says who you are and where you live, so that they know, that you are a constituent of theirs, and ask for a 15-minute Zoom meeting where you can share your story and talk to them about issues that you care about. And if you want to talk to them about Cassie's Law, then mention that you'd like to talk to them about Cassie's Law and about how they can support. If there are other issues that you would like to talk to your legislators about, or a different issue, feel free to do that as well. And as I say, I'm happy to come to that meeting with you or help you set that up. Just let me know how I can help. But we really think that if once back up for a second, and then we will have a bill number later this week, so that when you go into that meeting, you can have a fact sheet that I will update on Cassie's Law that outlines exactly what it is, what it covers, what the bill numbers are, so that you have a really specific, concrete ask that you can present to your senator and your representative. So you send one email to your senator, one email to your representative, asking for a meeting. They'll get back to you, try to get something scheduled. Once that gets scheduled, then I'll be happy to accompany you on that Zoom meeting if you'd like, or I can provide you with PDFs of the fact sheets that you can share with your senator or your representative. Let me know how I can help. Let me know if you're interested in doing this. It really will make a big difference. And of course, once the bill gets introduced and we get bill numbers, then I will update the fact sheet. Once the bill gets a hearing date, I will put that information out in the updates. And then before the bills come up for votes or hearings, I will also do action alerts where you can actually send a reminder to your state legislators that this is the bill that you talk to them about and that you want their vote on them, depending on if they're on the committee or if it's on the Senate or House floor as the process rolls forward. So really the first step is get the meeting. Second step is at the meeting, get the meeting, email them, get a meeting, go to the meeting, tell them about the bill, ask them for the support, and then stay in touch with them over the course of the legislative session on where that bill is, which committees it's being heard in, how it's looking, and making sure that they continue to support and vote for that bill. Next week, we'll be back with Tuesdays at the Capitol with the Minnesota Brain Injury Alliance. I'll send out an email with the Zoom information, and we will continue our work towards the writing of the Minnesota state budget to protect and ensure that brain injury services and supports that are available to people with brain injury are supported and are part of the budget and part of the priorities for the state of Minnesota. So thank you for listening. Thank you for everything that you do. And please get in touch if there's anything else I can do to help. Hope you have a good week.